Welcome to the world where we fight to the finish, and at the heart of it is one recognizable image. Originators, titans of business, brand architects, respected since 9/7 skies the limit.
How's it going, folks? Welcome to the second episode of MMA Talk Canada. Here with my good buddy Saad Suleiman, and today we're presenting UFC on Fox 6. A great card, great free card. I think this is one of the best Fox cards they've had so far. What are your thoughts on this one, Saad?
Yeah, I think this is a great card, top to bottom. You got great names, even on the prelims, from Guida and Matchenko and Petr, even Wiman and Grant. It's going to be a great fight. I think it rivals the UFC on Fox 5 cards that we saw in December. So it should be a great one, and I'm really looking forward to the flyweight matchup.
Yeah, that's going to be electric, that fight. That's going to be so fast. You might have to watch that one in slow motion.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so we'll start off with the prelims. We'll start off with Petr and Matchenko fight. I believe this fight's a little bit of a mismatch. Matchenko having a long layoff in this fight. Hasn't fought since Dodson, I believe. And Petr, I believe he's on a completely different level than Matchenko. I see Petr winning this fight anywhere he wants to, whether it be striking, wrestling, or really anywhere in this fight. I believe Petr's going to TKO him in the second. How about you, Saad?
Well, the interesting thing is, I think you're not giving Matchenko as much credit, you know?
Yeah.
He's a very experienced and crafty veteran. But the thing is, Petr is looking to rebound from that KO to Machida. And before that, he also beat Rampage. So he's tough. It's tough to decide where to put Petr in the light heavyweight division. Like, he's struggled against the top contenders. And Matchenko's the same way. He struggled against the top guys. But he's also 42 years old. He's at the twilight of his career. I'm not sure how much he has left. Maybe he'll even retire after this fight.
Yeah, possibly.
He said that he's having... Yeah. And, but the thing is, he's 4-2 in the octagon. His only losses are to Gustus and Joe, which says a lot about his character. And I think that the thing is, Petr, he's been susceptible to the KO, and I think that's the only way that Matchenko wins it. But I think that Petr, given the fact that he was just knocked out, he's going to be really careful, and I think he's going to grind out a decision against him.
Yeah, same here. I think he's going to be, a couple strikes, then takedown over and over in the fight, but that's that fight for you. And then we got Clay Guida versus Hatsu Hioki, and Guida actually making its featherweight debut, which is a way better weight class for them. He just being almost not out-muscled by the people at lightweight. He was doing very well, but it's just too small. I think he's gonna fit real good in with this division. What are your thoughts on the fight, Saad? How do you see this one turning out?
Yeah, the fact that Guida's making his featherweight debut, yeah, it's a really important thing. So it depends on the weight cut, because I don't think he's ever fought at this weight. But I think he's probably going to have a decent cut, and he's going to look really good. He's especially trying to rebound after that Maynard fight where everybody thought it was boring.
Yeah, the running one.
Exactly, but he's promising an exciting fight. I'm thinking we're going to see the Guida of old, the one that constantly puts the pressure on you and repeatedly goes for the takedowns, ground and pound, running at you all day long. And the thing with Hioki, he just had his 6-fight win streak snapped by Lamas, who's actually fighting on this card too, on the main card. So I think he's looking to rebound. He was already considered one of the top contenders at featherweight. So I think if Guida wins it, he's obviously going to be up there as well. This is going to be an interesting fight, but I think the fact that both of their strengths are grappling, and Hioki actually relies on it more heavily than Guida, I think that Guida's going to withstand that and constantly put the pressure on him and actually wear down Hioki. He'll probably take a decision, but it's going to be an interesting fight.
Yeah, I'm predicting the same thing. I think Guida's going to win a decision here. I think it's going to be a great ground fight, some great jiu-jitsu being... Hopefully we see a submission. I just don't think it's going to happen, but I see Guida eking out a decision as well.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they're both durable.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we'll go into the next fight. TJ Grant versus Matt Wiman. Canadian TJ Grant, have you there? TJ Grant is having a career, just changing his career at lightweight, doing great against top competition. His last win over Evan Dunham, me and Saad were actually there at the event. The crowd was crazy. It was a great fight. I think, did it win fight of the night?
I'm not sure. I don't think it did.
Yeah, it was a great.
I can't recall.
Yeah, it was a great fight anyway. So, big win over Evan Dunham. Evan Dunham's been one of the tops in that lightweight division for a long time now, and I don't know. I don't know how to predict this fight. I might be a little biased because he's Canadian. I might say Grant, maybe by decision. Matt Wiman, coming off that big underdog win over Paul Sass, actually submitted him, which was pretty crazy if I say so myself. But I see Grant maybe getting a decision in this fight. How about you, Saad?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Grant mainly because he's Canadian.
Yeah.
That's the bias there. But I got to put the biases aside and actually figure out who has the upper hand. And really, I don't see an upper hand here. The thing with Wiman is he's a great fighter. He came off that long injury layoff and he beat Sass at his own game, which says a lot about him. I think both of these guys are trying to crack that elusive top 10 at the lightweight division, which is really difficult to do. Right? And Grant was also on a 3-fight win streak. And so I kind of want to root for him, but I'm thinking Wiman surprised me before, and I think he's going to do it again. I think somehow Wyman's going to find a way to win.
Yeah, Wyman's always been pretty consistent in the division. You know, having wins, like I said, over Grant, Cole Miller. He just grinds away. Yeah, and he usually finds a way to win. But I'm not going to pick Grant in this fight. Actually, hopefully getting a decision. Okay, next fight. We got Eric Koch versus Ricardo Lamas. Now, Eric Koch, surprisingly enough, hasn't fought since September of 2011 against Jonathan Brookins, where I actually thought Jonathan Brookins won that fight, from what I remember watching that about 2 years ago. Long layoff. He's definitely going to have ring rust, and that's going to have a big factor in this fight, I believe. And Lamas just beating Hatsu Hayoki back in June, which is a huge win. And then having wins over Cub Swanson and another fighter I don't believe, but it was a good fighter. I believe that Lamas is going to dominate Koch. Now Koch has most likely improved his skills over the time, but I believe that Lamas is another level, and I see him maybe getting a TKO in the second.
Oh, TKO. Yeah, that would be interesting to see. Like, I think it's such a close fight. I think ultimately what it's going to come down to is the fact that Koch is coming off a layoff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Coming off the injury, there's going to be ring rust. I think that's the only thing. They're so close. They're so close to match. Like, the matchmaking for this card has been amazing. Like, you got like really good fights that are really closely contested. So I think just that little thing, the fact that he's coming off a layoff, is going to make the difference here. They're both coming on win streaks, so it really depends on how you look at it. Koch was actually a line for title shots, so I guess that says a lot about where this fight ranks in the division. I'm thinking Lamas will be able to pull it off, though. Yeah,
exactly. And who knows what Koch we're going to see. He trains his wrestling with Ben Askren, and he's training his striking with Duke Rufus and Showtime Pettis. So who knows what we're going to see and how much improvement he's actually made. I'm really looking forward to this fight.
Yeah, it should be good.
All right.
Yeah, it could go either way. I'm just saying because like I kind of have to pick somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going with Lamas mainly because he's coming off. Koch is coming off a layoff, but he could go easily either way.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the first fight on the main card there. And now the second fight on the main card is actually one I'm looking forward to a lot, and that is Showtime Pettis versus Donald Cowboy Cerrone. And I'm going to be honest here, I cannot pick a winner here. I'm too big of a fan of both of them, and it's too close of a fight, so I'm going to leave the prediction up to you. Striking, they're both equally the same as striking. Cerrone might have a little more technical. Showtime's a little more flashy. Jiu-Jitsu, that's going to be a great war because Jiu-Jitsu is pretty much equal in this fight. Cerrone and Pettis both have submission wins and great submission wins. Most of them come by triangle choke, and I just believe this is going to be a war. I'm predicting this one going to be fight of the night. How about you, Saad?
Yeah, it definitely is fight of the night, even potentially fight of the year, an early fight of the year.
For sure.
Written all over it. The main issue, again, like, I guess this is the theme of the card, guys coming off injury layoff. Like, Pettis hasn't fought in a really long time ever since knocking out Lauzon.
Yeah, for sure, in Japan.
Pettis, though, has made amazing adjustments. He's been looking amazing, even after the loss to Guida. I think he realized that he's got to work on his ground game, but I really think that he's going to pick Cerrone apart on the feet here. And Cerrone's going to look for that takedown. I think that Pettis seems to want this really badly. He's really craving that title shot that he had taken away from him. I really think that Pettis is going to pull this one off, though. Just seeing the two of them, especially on during the press conference and hearing their interviews, I think that Pettis just wanted more, and I think that he's going to find a way to pull it off. But it's going to be an amazing fight. So closely contested.
Yeah, this is the fight I'm looking forward to the most in the card. Right when they announced this fight a while ago, actually, they're supposed to fight a long time ago, and just the bad blood between them both it's going to be a good war. I think it's going to be definitely one of the fights of the year for sure. All right, moving into the co-main event, we got Rampage Jackson versus Glover Teixeira. Now, this is supposedly Rampage's last fight in the octagon. I don't know if that's going to be true or not. We've heard that before after he supposedly retired before the Rashad fight again after Tough. But I'm not sure what we're going to see with Rampage in the octagon again. I hope he comes back. I'm a fan of Rampage. So, anyways, let's get into the fight now. Rampage and Teixeira. This is a tough one to call. It just depends on which Rampage shows up. If he's in shape, he's been training real hard for this fight, as he was saying on Twitter. But same with Teixeira, though. This guy's an animal, though. His striking is really good. I hope we get a stand-up war. If Rampage and Teixeira both stay in the pocket and just go at each other like, I hope that happens. But I'm not sure what's going to happen in this fight. If it's a stand-up war, and then I might give the edge to Jackson. But if Teixeira could take down Jackson, we might see a different thing, because we've seen Jackson kind of struggle with wrestlers like John Jones and Ryan Bader. So it's a really close fight to call. I'm probably going to give the edge to Rampage a little bit, just due to the experience. But Glover on a big win streak. Have a lot of confidence in that win streak. But I'm going to give the edge to Rampage here. How about you, Saad?
Well, the thing is, I think the Rampage of old is gone.
With the knee surgeries he's had and all that?
Yeah, definitely. He did not look good against the Bader fight. He has obviously an injury, and apparently he was on TRT as well.
Yeah.
But, I really don't see... I think his mind is elsewhere. He's really looking forward to getting out of the UFC, just getting away. Even at the press conference, being, playing video games.
Yeah.
He really... I guess he doesn't really care at this point. So, at the most, I don't even see the fact that there's any pressure on him. Obviously, he wants to win and leave the UFC on a high note, because that increases his stock. But, to be honest, I think all the pressure's on Teixeira. He's getting up there in age, but at the same time, this is his time to make a run, and beating Rampage is obviously a way to do it. But the pressure is on him, because this is the biggest fight of his career. And to be honest, I think he's going to pick him apart on the feet, and then he's going to work to take him down, the ground upon him, and finish him off. I don't see any way Jackson wins this fight. There's really no way, unless Teixeira is foolhardy and just tries to swim with him, and gets caught by something. That's the only way I see Teixeira losing this fight, and I don't think, to be honest, I think he's too smart for that. He's trained under Chuck Liddell, and people have been hyped on him for so long. He should have been in the UFC a long time ago, and I really think he's gonna win this fight, whether it's second or third round. But he's gonna win this fight. Yeah,
this is definitely Teixeira's fight to make a name for himself. Most people don't know who he is because he's been fighting in other organizations, and his wins in the UFC have been Cal Kingsbury and Fabio Maldonado. Most diehard fans know who they are, but the casual fan will not know who they are. If Glover beats Teixeira, if Glover beats Rampage, then he's going to be on his way to stardom, and I believe a couple more wins away from a title shot, in my opinion.
Yeah, but did you see what he did to Kingsbury and Maldonado?
Yeah.
Maldonado has a hard head, and what he did to him was shocking.
Yep.
And I really do not see how Rampage could even, I guess, contest against it, because I just don't feel like his heart is in it anymore.
Yeah.
So, I think that's what's going to come down to, and I think Teixeira takes it, but he's got to be smart, though. He can't be caught with something. Rampage still probably has power in those hands.
Yeah, it's good. It's a really tough fight. You're going for Teixeira. I'm gonna root for Rampage in this one. I think Teixeira's a cool dude as well, great fighter, but I think Rampage wants to leave on a high note as well. This is his last shot in the UFC, and hopefully we see Rampage back. Hope he said he's not going to retire, but hope we see him doing better things, maybe doing some acting and having some good fights as well.
Well, that's what he's suggesting. He wants to do kickboxing and boxing and, maybe some pro wrestling or something. Kind of follows the way of, King Mo.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what he does, but the thing is, I think he's going to realize the grass is greener on the other side and realize that he shouldn't have left the UFC the way he did. There's not much many opportunities out there outside of the UFC, so it's going to be interesting. Maybe Bellator, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I wish the best for him. He's actually had some really exciting moments in the Octagon, being champion, his Pride days. Like, everybody knows of his Pride days. But he's also up and down in his career, so I don't know. I wish the best to him, though.
Yeah, I heard Bjorn said they'd be interested in him as well if when he becomes a free agent, but they didn't really give any guarantees on anything like that. So
well, yeah, the main reason why is because I don't see him even competing in a tournament format. Like, I don't think he wants to do a tournament.
Oh, no.
Maybe he'll go there for like one-off fight, or maybe have like the similar deal to King Mo, where he wrestles in TNA and maybe gets like one-off fight in Bellator here and there.
Yeah, most likely just super fights. You know, if he goes there, I think he gets an automatic title shot or a super fight with who's the champ right now? Is it Travis View?
Well, he can't get an automatic title shot. That goes against their policy, right?
Yeah, but it is Rampage though. That's the thing. That'd be their biggest star.
Their champ is Christian, I think, Kumbu.
Yeah.
But it's going to be King Molawala.
For sure. He's going to run through that tournament.
It was amazing, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, main event now. John Dodson versus Demetrius Johnson. And this is going to be a great fight. It's going to be real fast. As we know, all these both these fighters are very fast. All the flyweights are fast, actually. And I'm not too sure on this fight. I think Johnson's gonna get the win possibly, but I'm not gonna underestimate Dodson because Dodson's quick. He's got lots of power in his hands. He TKO'd or KO'd John what's his name TJ Dillashaw and Juicy Formiga. And he's had good competition. I see Johnson retaining the belt here. He might just be too fast for John Dodson, and it's weird me saying that because Dodson's super fast as it is, but I think he just might be too fast. How about you, Sud?
Yeah, well, this is going to be the fastest fight in UFC history, by far. These are the two fastest guys. We're going to find out who's faster. That's what it's going to come down to. And the thing is, everyone knows what Demetrius Johnson's capable of. He won the title over the favorite in Benavidez, and he also beat the former, I guess, top flyweight in Ian McCall, and so he's been in there with the best of the flyweight division, even though it's like a relatively like recent or new division. He's been with the best of them, and he was even at the best at the 135 division, facing Cruz. Like, there's just so much that I guess Johnson brings to the table. I don't see what Dodson can do. The one thing that he does do is that he has the big punch.
Yeah, he has the power.
He's known to knock out people. Yeah, exactly. He has the power. Like, at that weight class, that's an amazing quality to have. The issue is whether he's going to even be able to hit Johnson. Like, I don't see how he's going to be able to knock out Mighty Mouse. Like, he won a decision over Elliott, but he faded towards the end of the fight.
Yep.
And I think that might happen here as well. Like, Johnson just knows how to constantly pour it on, and I really think that he's going to win a 5-round decision. Like, Dodson might come out really strong at the start, but I think he'll fade away towards, like, the 3rd, 4th, 5th round.
Yeah, if Johnson has to win this fight, it's going to be by decision. If Dodson somehow wins this fight, it's going to be by a stoppage, probably TKO. But like I said, I still see Johnson winning this fight by unanimous decision. And it's going to be a great card. I'm really looking forward to this one. Like I said, probably the best Fox card of the year, best Fox card of all time so far. And then we got more Fox cards coming up, like Ben Henderson's going to be fighting on that card again. And Frank Mir in the future.
I think that one's gonna be the best one.
Yeah.
Because Frank Mir, Cormier, you got Melendez finally coming over to the UFC against Henderson. Oh man.
And then already
looking like an amazing card.
Dan Hardy and Matt Brown already announced that's gonna be a great fight. That one there. Be pulling for Dan Hardy 100% on that fight.
Against Matt Brown?
Against Matt Brown, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting fight. Yeah, that will be a good one. So, yeah.
All right, folks.
It'll be an interesting card on Saturday.
That concludes our prediction videos for UFC on Fox 6. Everybody enjoy the fights. Peace.